You know that feeling when you first wake up? It's a feeling that's probably become so familiar by now, you might not even really notice it anymore. You wake up tired. Not sleepy. Tired.
Yeah, it's that deeper kind of tired, right? The kind that just sticks around long after you've opened your eyes. It's a feeling that a good night's sleep just can't seem to touch.
And this is the really weird part, isn't it? Being exhausted has started to feel, well, normal. It's not an alarm bell anymore. It's just the default setting. So let's get into it. Let's talk about burnout, but probably not in the way you're used to thinking about it. We're not really going to dive into it as a medical thing or some kind of productivity issue. No, what we're going to do here is explore it as an idea that has kind of quietly rewired the way we all live. I mean, how many times have you heard stuff like this? It's wild, but people actually brag about being exhausted. You hear these lines all the time, right? And somehow we've all just learned to nod along and see them as signs of success. And that really brings us to the core question we're tackling in this explainer. When did being completely drained become the proof that you matter? Okay, so let's unpack how this all happened, how we got to this complete flip in meaning. How did a state of weakness somehow get twisted and reframed into a signal of strength? Just think about that shift for a second. It used to be that burnout meant something was wrong, period. Now it's almost seen as proof that you're doing something right. That's the story we tell ourselves, isn't it? That it means you're committed, you're dedicated, you're driven. And here's the real kicker. Burnout didn't start with people who were, weak. It started with the strong ones, the ones who really cared, who tried their best, who just said yes one too many times. And the system? Well, the system noticed that their exhaustion could actually be pretty useful. All right, this next part might be a little uncomfortable to think about, but what if this isn't an accident? Let's just explore this idea for a minute, that all this widespread burnout, it's actually a feature of the system, not a bug. I mean, think about it. When you're truly tired, you don't really question much, do you? A tired mind just accepts things it normally wouldn't. A tired body just keeps going, pretty much on autopilot. So yeah, burnout isn't just a side effect, it's a feature. And this whole thing creates this little question that just lives in the back of our heads, quietly, but constantly. If you're not tired, are you even trying? This pressure, it's so powerful, it actually reshaped time itself. I mean, even our rest got optimized. It's all about recharge faster, recover efficiently, make your downtime productive. So rest, it stopped being rest. It just became preparation for more exhaustion. So what's the actual personal cost of all this? Of this cultural problem? When burnout becomes the norm, what does that do to the experience of just living? Well, it turns life into an act of endurance. Have you ever noticed how burnout always gets framed as your fault, like a personal failure, as if you just weren't good enough at managing your time? But that framing is so important. Because look, if burnout is your fault, then nothing else needs to change. The system, it stays unchallenged. The pressure, it stays invisible. And you're the one left blaming yourself for, being human. And that right there, that's the trick. And this is what you get. Burnout absolutely thrives on comparison. There's always someone else working harder, right? So you push yourself, not because you really want to, but because stopping feels like you're falling behind. And this is what turns life into endurance. It's not about meaning anymore or depth, it's just survival. Moving from one task to the next. So where does all this leave us? Look, this final section isn't about some simple fix. There's no 5-step plan here. It's more of a quiet invitation. An invitation to see the world and to see our own exhaustion just a little differently. And here's maybe the most dangerous part of all. Burnout feels normal because everyone around you has it too. It just becomes background noise. But we have to remember, normal doesn't mean healthy. And that normalization, that's exactly what allows it to keep going. So let's ask the question that we almost never ask. Who actually benefits from a world where being exhausted is just expected? I can tell you who it's not. It's not you, it's not your body, and it's definitely not your mind. When you get right down to it, burnout isn't a personal weakness, it's a cultural decision. It's a choice.
one we never really consciously agreed to, but one that has slowly replaced meaning with just motion. And once you really see that, you can't unsee it.
Again, this isn't some call to action to quit your job or, reject modern life. It's something much quieter than that. It's an invitation, just an invitation to notice, to question, and maybe to stop treating your own exhaustion as proof of your worth.
And hey, if any of this felt a little uncomfortable, good. That discomfort you're feeling, that's awareness returning. And that's where things actually begin.